friends, hopefully you have watched my welcome to my channel video. If not, I'll try and put the link in the description box down there somewhere. But this is my first tutorial video where you'll probably recognise this look because this is the look that I had in my welcome video, and it's using this Makeup Revolution palette to give me this is my weekend makeup. This is my going out lunchtime, might still be out at tea time. So I really hope you enjoy my tutorial. Now I'm still very new at all of this. I have a mirror here, if you find it there, and I'm meant to be looking at you here, so I apologise if I'm looking all over the place. I'll try and improve on that as my videos go on. Okay, I guess it's time to get into it now. A lot of the channels that I follow have songs. Yuki has her Welcome Back, and Nady has his Swatching Time, or you might know him as Pop Lux. I mean, Cassie from Thick Thrift, one of the two. She has lots of different ones. She has YouTube Make Me Buy It. She has her Best and Worst of Beauty. I need a song. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Okay. In tribute to one of my favourite YouTubers, who's not a beauty channel, he's a booty channel, and a candle review company, who always sings at the start of his videos. And also, as a wee homage to a band I gave my heart to when I hit my teenage years, I think my little song is going to have to be When Will I Be YouTube Famous? That's enough of that nonsense.
I can't answer
Let's
that.
start the tutorial. That's the husband. He arrives halfway through the tutorial. You'll hear. Carry on watching. Right, okay, let's get this started. Okay, I have a mirror down here and a viewfinder there, so you have to excuse me if I look different places. Hair's up out the way. Let's just, because it's double purpose, it's cute and it keeps my hair off my face. Right, okay. Freshly washed and moisturised, and the foundation that I'm going to be using today is my Revlon Colour Stay. But before we do that, we need to prime. Now, one of the problems I have because of the chronic pain that I'm in all the time, and as a side effect of my meds, my face sweats like it's in a sauna 24/7. This is my absolute saviour. You get it from Amazon, it's about 10 quid. And it is a gel, so like this, quite a nice firm gel, which helps to prevent the majority of the sweating. Now I did used to put a primer on over the top of this as well, but I'd run out of my primer, so I thought, oh, I'll just use this and see what it's like. It's actually one of the best primers I've ever used. It leaves the skin ever so slightly tacky, so which is what you want, because then your foundation will stick to it. And those of us with oily combo skin knows how difficult it is to get foundation to stay on our skin for any length of time. Okay, a little face wipe to clean my hands off, and now it's time for foundation. This foundation I've used before, so I know that it actually applies best, on me at least, with a brush, so that's what I'm going to be using. Now I don't have one of those fancy palettes. I used to use a Pringles lid, to be quite honest, but now hubby got me an Easter egg last year just because it had got a phone case with Bulbasaur on. It was one of my favourite Pokemon. And this is perfect for squirting your foundation onto. Yeah, the Revlon one is really quite thick, as you can see. It's great if you need to mix two foundations together, or you want to mix some glow drops in, or whatever. Okay, let's see if I can scoot you in a bit closer to my scary old face. Oh, God. Okay, so I'm going to be going in first with, this is actually a tart brush. Yeah, I'll discuss tart in another video. It's just a really nice, dense but soft kabuki. Okay, so really quite dense. And then we just start in the middle of your face and work out, because that way you look slightly more natural. And I try and sort of stipple it into the skin whenever possible. Just because I find that with my oily combo skin, it goes in better. And also, unlike all these other wonderful beauty gurus, not that I class myself in that stage anywhere near yet, but unlike some of those that are in their 20s, I have things called wrinkles, I have things called fine lines, and other annoying things. Right, now I have got no idea how long this video is going to be, because I've never tried to edit a video before. There's honesty for you. So this could end up being really long, and if it is, and you don't want to listen to me waffle, by all means use the speed thingy, which I think is down there somewhere. It could be down there, I don't know. And you can watch me on like double speed or 1.5 or whatever, which means I'll look like a chicken and sound like Pinky and Perky. Great. But one of the things that I always found, particularly when I was first starting to follow makeup tutorials online, was that they went so damn quick, and I was constantly having to keep pausing, and then my screen will go to screensaver. Oh. So if you like the video being longer, let me know in the comments. If you prefer me to try and work out how to speed things up or cut things down, then tell me that too, okay? Sorry, I keep looking over. I need to look at you rather than that. It's my first video, so kind of bear with me. Okay, so as you can see, you don't need this. This is I suppose a medium coverage, and I've still got some left from those two pumps. I've got quite a big face. Okay, I'm really apologising for the ums as well. I told myself I wasn't going to do that. Okay, is there anywhere that I feel needs a little bit of extra work? Excuse me while I have a look at my mirror. Gives you a chance to look at these though. How pretty are they? Yeah, I think I could do with a wee bit more coverage just there. This Revlon foundation, the one that I've got, is the combo oily. They do it in a dry normal as well, so you can get the one that is right for your skin. And this is, I've got a lot of foundations. I've been searching for quite a while for my holy grail. This is probably my favourite of the cheaper end, the sort of ones you can get in like Superdrug and Boots, or if you're American, a drugstore. And let's face it, Revlon have been around for years, they know what they're doing. Right, now, remember this that I wiped my hands on? To make life easier, I now give this a squidge on that and just get the thickest of the foundation off. Partly because I don't like putting dirty brushes back in the pot, but also because then you can be a lazy bitch and you haven't got to wash your brushes quite so often, because you've already taken most of the foundation off of them. This is no substitute for a deep clean, and obviously I do clean my brushes, just I one every week. I've got a lot of brushes. I have to be honest. Sometimes if I'm in too much pain, I'll just choose a different brush. Okay, so that's that off. I just make sure I don't put it away wet. Just rub it off on my hand. Right, next stage, concealer. I've been loving this one by Revolution, the Conceal and whatever the hell it's called, Conceal and Define. And I've got this in shade C1 because I am officially Casper. I have used Shape Tape. I do like Shape Tape. It's one of the few concealers that doesn't actually crease on me. But this is significantly cheaper. You get about a third of the amount that you do in Shape Tape, but even if you buy 3 of these, it's still half the price of buying Shape Tape. Oh, actually, I've got a little visitor on my chin who was not invited to the party. So, well, see if we can get rid of him, shall we? I used to use an eyelid primer. I've since found that concealer just seems to work better for me. If you prefer to use a separate eyelid primer, crack on. This is actually this is a So Eco, and it's actually foundation and concealer brush. I actually use the flat foundation end to blend out my concealer. Don't forget these little dimples just on the inside of your nose here, because if you do get dark circles and you forget that, it's really obvious. As you can see, this don't, if you're following the Jackie Aina thing of letting your concealer set down a bit before you blend it to give you more coverage, A, you don't need to do that with this, and B, if you leave it too long, it won't blend out. It dries down really, really quickly, which is great because you don't have to muck about for too long. I don't do these huge, great triangles of concealer, partly because it's not necessary. It might look good on camera with all their studio lights and everything, but in real life, particularly if you're the wrong side of 40, as I am, you will look like you've had blue circle cement come round and just not a good look. Not a good look. So I try not to pull on the under eye area because this skin is very, very delicate. So it's just patting, 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 patting motions. Okay, and same thing, back to my wet wipe and get the concealer off of my brush. I went very northern then, didn't I? I do apologise. Right, this is a nice fluffy brush. It is clean, it's stained, basically. And I'm going to go in with this Maybelline Fit Me translucent powder, which, as you can see, I've been loving because we're panning. And we want to set the concealer because I'm not going to use cream contour or cream blush or cream eyeshadow. So I'm done with creams. So now I need to set the concealer that I've put down so that it doesn't settle into all those lovely fine lines that you get when you're not a wonderful 20-year-old. I hardly ever wore makeup in my 20s. All those years of non-creasing eyelids that I wasted. Oh, I have a weird sense of humour. You'll get used to me, or you won't. Your choice. So I'm just setting the under eye and the eyelid so we don't get any creasing with that brush, and then I go into my little colour switch thing, which is basically, it's like a Brillo pad but softer and without soap on it, and you just swirl your brush like this and it gets all the excess powder off, which is great if you've not got many brushes and need to keep changing brushes. It's also great because, once again, you don't have to wash your brushes so often. Right, this is a travel kabuki from, I think it's Real Techniques. Yeah, says it all over that bit. And now I'm just going to go into, around the edges of my translucent. I have a hell of a job keeping foundation on my nose particularly. So I get that, and then I push this up just to tighten the kabuki slightly, and then just press the powder into my nose. Try not to breathe in at this point or you will sneeze. If you prefer using beauty sponges or beauty blenders or Real Techniques or whatever you want to call them, you can of course do this with a sponge, a damp sponge, and that's fine. But as I said, I find that this particular foundation goes on better with a brush, so I haven't wet my sponge. In fact, I'm not even sure my sponge is here with me at the moment. So once I've got the powder all pressed in on my nose to help keep it on, I put the thing down to make it loose again, and then any powder left, just sweep it across the eyes again, because why not? And then I have this short big fluffy brush, which has got one of these on the other end, and this is a tart one as well. And I'm now going to set the rest of my face. Now, if you're dry skin, you probably won't need to do this, but as I've already said, I'm combo oily, and if I don't, I can wave goodbye to my makeup in about 3 hours. So, again, I find that patting in is better than, because if your foundation isn't quite set, you will smudge it off and you'll be spent ages blending it, so we don't want that. Bronzer time. Look at the size of this bronzer, it's bloody huge. So look. This is the Afterglow Light Bronzer by Barry M. Doesn't smell of anything. I really want to try and get hold of some of that Physicians Formula one that smells like coconut, but you can't get it in the UK unless you pay a bloody fortune. So, this is a Soeco big powder brush. I'm just dipping it in, knocking off the excess. I don't contour because, as you can see, despite the fat face, I have actually got quite high cheekbones, so I don't need to contour. I also don't like the way contour looks on me because where I'm so pale, I'm yet to actually find a colour that doesn't make it look like I've forgotten to wash, which is not the look that I go for. So I tend to just use bronzer instead. This one's not too warm, which is good because obviously I'm cool undertoned, so if I go too warm, it looks orange on me, which is not a good look. So you just follow. If you're not sure where to place it, do the fish face, which is the which I'm sure dentists could understand, but you run it along just under your cheekbone, and then I like to do the perimeter of my face just to help shorten the forehead a wee bit. Not that I've got a massive forehead, thankfully, but also just to put some colour back in the face, because obviously with the foundation and the concealer we've pretty much wiped out most of our natural colour. It just helps sculpt the face round, give us a bit of a glow, make us look like we're not sick. And if you have lovely double chin issues like moi, you can go just along under your jawline like this, not too heavy. I do make weird noises when I'm doing my makeup. Feel free to mute me. This is more blended than it looks. In real life it looks fine. Wow, studio lights really show things up, don't they? Let's take any excess off the brush, just give it a bit of a wallop. See if I can make it look a bit better on camera, a bit more like it does in real life. Ugh, do you know what? That's going to have to do. And now we're going to another Seiko brush. This is the tapered blending brush, so you can see the difference. Okay, this is one that I used for bronzer, and this is one I'm going to use for blush. Having watched loads of beauty gurus rave about Wet n Wild, I decided I wanted to try some of their products. I have got one of their foundations that I got from Amazon, and I'll be reviewing that in another video. And I got this blush called Pearlescent Pink, which isn't really pink, it's more of a really lovely, soft, corally, apricot-y kind of. Try not to flip you off here. So it just gives a nice warmth. So again, just dip in, tap off. Now, I always start my blusher at the back rather than the front, because if you haven't tapped off enough, or you have a rogue brush who decide it wants to ruin your makeup for the day and deposits a crap ton, it's much easier to blend it out here than it is here. So really, really light circular movements just across the apples of my cheeks like that, just to give it a little bit of warmth. I tend to take it right up off the temples, but then, you know, I was a child of the 80s. That's what we did with that blush. I also find it actually suits my face shape to do that. So, same thing this side. Just blend, 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 and off up the temple. I do sometimes just a little tiny bit, just above the brow, just to warm that up a wee bit. This is turning into an ASMR video, isn't it? Sorry. Right. That for the moment is all my face powder done. I don't do my highlight until the end. So this is the point where if you have got any bits that are looking a bit powdery, or you just, to help your makeup last as long as possible, this is the point that I go in with the setting spray. Now you can use any setting spray you want. Fix Plus is not actually a setting spray, it won't extend the wear of your makeup, but it does feel nice. But again, good old Amazon found me a Wet n Wild, whichever one in America has been raving about. This is their natural finish. It's a really wee pot, look, it's tiny, but it's got a very good, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. If I move that, can you see that? That's got, just setting spray my arm, marvellous. It's got a really good, but without leaving like droplets everywhere. So this is the point that I use my first lot of setting spray. Okay. As I said, that helps merge any powderiness together and will help extend the wear of your foundation. Next, I go in with brows. I had a dalliance with Instagram brows for a while, and then decided I don't have the face for Instagram brows. So, my weapons of choice are a clean spoolie. Actually, if I hold it against my top, you might be able to see better. It's really quite a nice flexible one as well, which is good because you don't dig yourself in the eye. And this is from Essence, which I get from Wilkinson's in the UK, and it's their Super Last 24-hour eyebrow pomade pencil waterproof. Why do they give them such bloody long names all the time? I mean, seriously, dude. And this is in shade dark brown. What I like about these is it's a twist up pencil at one end. At the other end, you take this little clear cap off, okay, and you've got a little smudger brush. But then you take the smudge brush out and you got a sharpener, so you can resharpen the other end if you really want to. I just turn the damn thing round. Just makes life easier. Right, I'm just gonna have a look in my mirror because. Okay, no, don't put it on magnifying side. That looks awful. I'm quite lucky actually, I've not got bad brows. I'm just going to brush through them to get them to the kind of shape that I want. And then I'll talk through how to know if you need to draw brows in, if you've over plucked or you have issues with sparse brows and you need to know the best way to shape them. This will tell you. If you put a pencil beside your nose and in a vertical position, that is where your brow should start. Okay? And then if you keep it at the same place at the bottom but run it through, looking straight ahead, run it through the middle of your iris or your pupil, that is where the tip of your arch should be, or if you've got flatter brows like me, that's where your brow should come down thin to make the tail. Okay, so start of the brow, arch or thinning for the tail, and then you take it just to the edge of the coloured part of your eye, and that's where your brow should finish. Okay, that gives you the most natural shape for your face. Okay, now a lot of people start with the bottom, which if you're doing a pomade, yeah, I would. With a pencil I tend to start from the top. So I just, if you can see this, okay, follow the shape of my brow, bring it round and extend it just a wee bit at the end. So I just draw the outline first and then really light feathery strokes just fill the brow in. Once I'm happy with how dark that looks, don't panic, I know it's a little bit scruffy at the moment. Come back to the start, and again, just really light, short. If you use something like the Benefit Precisely My Brow, which is the really, really thin one, you can get individual hair strokes. This is a slightly thicker one, which is what I want, because as I said, I've not got bad brows, so I don't need to really create new brow hairs. So then we get to the end with this on, and we just run it through the brow. So we're kind of brushing the pencil through the brow to the end. Okay, and hopefully you can see, if I sit back a bit, you can actually see the difference between the two brows. It does frame the eye nicely when you have a brow there. If you don't want a brow, don't have a brow. Do a Jeffree Star. So I'm just going to do the other brow. If you want, you can fast forward this bit, or if you're following along in real time and you're as slow as I am, here we go. And we just brush it through like we did the other one. There. And again, the little brush, I just give it a bit of a wiggle on that face wipe that I used before to get any excess powder off of it before I put it away. If you don't have one of those individual spoolies, you can buy spoolie brushes. I think I've got one here actually. Yeah, there we go. You can actually buy, this is the Isabella Scott one. Okay, so you can buy a spoolie brush like this. I actually like the little ones. Where is it? Where did I put it? I threw it back over here and now I can't find it. Well done, Bomber. Oh well, wherever it's gone. You saw it earlier, the little yellow thing with the wobbly top. I like that one. If you don't have those, just save an old mascara wand and clean it and use that just to brush through your brows. It's fine. Now, I have the sort of brows that like to go for a walk during the day without me. So this is a sample size that I had of Benefit Ready Set Brow. Let's see if I can get it so you can actually read it. There you go. I think they've renamed it now to Brow Setting Gel. You can use clear mascara, you can spray hairspray onto a spoolie and just brush it through. This is just to, it partly does one job of, like we did with the setting spray on the face, blends all the powder colour together, because with that being a pomade pencil it is quite creamy. And it does the other job of helping just to keep your brows in place during the day. Okay, that's simple. Now, that's the boring bit done. Now comes the fun bit. Come on! Now, brushes that I'm going to use. These are clean, but they are stained from various different ones that I've used in the past. Now, 3 of these are actually from a Morphe brush set. That's these gold ones. And really helpfully, they've put Morphe stamped on them, which is lovely. But they've not told me what number is. Helpful. Thanks. This is a Real Techniques one, which is the, oh God, I wish they wouldn't print it so small, base shadow brush. Okay. These are the 4 brushes that I use most of the time. So I have a big fluffy brush. I have a quite a chunky pencil brush, but it does come up to a nice point. Then a slightly smaller, tapered, fluffy brush. If you compare those two side by side, you can see the difference. And then a big, flat, densely packed brush, packing brush for packing colour onto the lid. My favourite go-to eyeshadow palette at the moment is actually not my Jeffree Star, which, if you know me, will surprise you. It's this one from Makeup Revolution. See if I can get it without the sun. There we go. And it is the Reloaded Iconic Division. This is £4, people. £4. Change my bluey. Okay, there's no mirror in it, but if you look at it, it is actually a dupe for Subculture, even down to this white having a pink duochrome, which hopefully, if I get the angle right, you can actually see that. And there's actually a nice lot of mattes, because one of the things that Revolution do is they do a lot of palettes that have an awful lot of shimmers, which is great because you can make a look of all shimmer, but I know a lot of people don't like to. So, now, if my editing skills are any good, I will, because these haven't got names, I will try and put maybe up here, shuffle that way a little bit, maybe up here. I'll see if I can get this with a little star on whichever colour I'm using, but I will show you just before I use it. Okay, I'm going to go into this yellow first, and then I'm going to go into this sort of apricot-y orange, and then I'm going to go into that green, and probably finish off with that green there. Okay, so tap your brush in. Oh God, I'm not going to do this backwards. And you can see not a huge amount of fallout. Take the brush off. And you're gonna, let's see if I can get you a little bit closer for the eyes. Oh, I apologise. Even I don't like seeing me this close. Now, I always, again, I start on the outside because if it deposits too much colour, it's much easier to blend it here than it is over here by your nose. Sorry if I keep wiggling. If I don't, my back locks up and then I'm not going to be able to move, and that's not fun. Not fun at all. So, we start off very, very lightly. The further away down the handle that you hold it, the lighter your touch will be on your eye. So if you hold it here, yes, you have a lot more precision about where you're placing it, but you also are going to be heavier on the eye. And as I said, I'm not a 20-year-old. When I put stuff on my eye, partly because I'm the wrong side of 40, my eyelid moves, but also because I have actually lost quite a lot of weight over the last few years. So if you've I mean, you could be in your 20s, and if you've lost a lot of weight, you'll have the same issue. So, start at the end, and we start off initially with a windscreen wiper. And I'm just going to follow the curve of my natural eyelid. If I look straight ahead, you can see all of my mobile eyelid. So that means I haven't got hooded eyes, okay? If when you look straight ahead you don't see this, then you have hooded eyes. And for you, you would need to keep your eye well open and put the colour just above here. So you would need to move it from here to about here. I'm lucky, I've got a very, very large amount of space between my brow and my eyeball, which is great because I can blend a crap ton of colours. Everyone's got their own eye shape, so you know, you do what's right for your eye shape. So initially, just windscreen wiper across, and you can see it moves my skin, which is why you go forward 2 or 3 times. Once you've got that in, you then do really gentle circular motions to blend the colour up. Now what I tend to do is I go up and leave about the width of this, about 5-6 mil below my brow. If you need to redip, redip. Remember, it's much easier to add colour than it is to take it away. So we just blend, 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 blend. Sound like Kami. Blend, 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 blend. Until we've got, you can see how well that colour lays down. I mean, look at that. This is, now I understand why beauty gurus go, this is blended in real life, I promise. I do have a little patch here, which is a sod and will not take. I have to literally insist it has shadow on it because it doesn't like it. The trick with blending is you blend until you feel like your arm's going to fall off, and then you just do a couple of minutes more. So I've just used my colour switch to take the excess off the brush. So now this is a clean brush, and I'm just going to go over it and just short windscreen wiper movements just to make sure it's all nicely blended. Okay. Now I'm going to do exactly the same to the other eye. Again, if you want to speed it up through this bit, feel free. If you're working at the same pace with me and you're going through it as I go through it, let's do our other eye. So windscreen wiper first, and then little circles. If you're wondering why I shut this eye but didn't shut the other one, it's because I'm blind in this eye. So if I close this one, I can't see sod all, which does make makeup application a tad challenging. But for those of you who also have challenges, welcome to the Makeup Challenge Club. Okay, about even? Yeah, I like that. You can see it's a really lovely mustardy yellow. Now I'm going to go into the apricot colour next to it. This one here. And I'm going to follow the crease again, just to deepen the colour. Then I'm going to do the little circles again, but I'm not going to take it as high. I'm just doing the circles along the crease line itself, because I want to leave some of the yellow there, but I want to just give it some depth with this apricot colour. Okay, see that? You see the slight difference there? And then we go and do the other eye. Hope I'm not going too fast for you, or too slow for you. As I said before, do feel free to speed me up or slow me down if I'm going too fast or too slow for you. So we just add that apricot colour in just to give it a little bit more warmth. Again, use my colour switch and then just very lightly, little mini windscreen wiper movements, just to blend two colours together really nicely. Clean that brush off. We are now done with this big fluffy brush. I'm now going to change to my pencil brush. That sounds like my husband coming out of the bathroom. Okay, now I'm going to go into this sage green here. Hey baby.
Hello there.
You've forgotten your glasses again.
Yeah, I did, funnily enough. Probably why I can't actually
He wouldn't be my
see.
husband if he remembered to put his glasses on when he came out of the bathroom. Okay, so again, put the colour on, tap off. And what I'm going to do this time, I'm actually going to gently draw just one line, bit of a guideline really through my crease, see that? Then I'm going to pick up a wee bit more. And I'm going to basically colour in a little triangle at the corner here. Triangle was pretty much the only musical instrument I became proficient at school. Tried the recorder, drove the family nuts. My recorder disappeared. I think my granddad might have had something to do with that. Anyway, so I've basically drawn where I want that green to go. Then I'm going to pick up my Real Techniques slightly more tapered shadow brush, go back into that sage, tap off a little bit, put it in here and just waggle it. That's a technical term, waggling it. Waggle it little short backwards and forwards motions like this, just to work the colour really deep into our crease there. Again, if you have a hooded eye, you're going to have to do this just above your eyeball. I have it nice and easy. I can just follow my eyeball and I could do it in my sleep probably. And then just really gently fluff that corner out a little bit like that. Okay, see the difference? I hope you can. Right, God, my blush looks so bright and it's really not in real life, I promise. Okay, same thing this side, draw the green in. Now I have a real issue with this eyeball because this is the one that got pulled about a lot when I was a kid when they were trying to sort things out. I've got a lot of creases just here, as you can see. Now when I use liquid liner, it's a real bitch basically, because I have to start the liner here, because if I start it here it runs all the way up these and ruins my eye look, which really annoys me. So again, I'm just colouring in that corner there just to give me a guide. Then my fluffy brush, back into the sage, tap off the excess, always start from the outside and give it a waggle. Are you waggling with me? Hope you are. Bless you, darling.
Thank you. Oh.
I wasn't planning on having an audience, but bless you again, darling.
Oh.
At least it gives you something to listen to when I'm concentrating on doing my makeup, huh? Okay. So it just gives us a little bit of definition. Now, we're now done with the pencil brush. And colour switch that off. Now I'm going to go back into, you can see there's not a great deal of fallout on these shadows at all, which is fantastic. But I'm now going to go into this deeper green just here. By the way, if you're liking my nails, I will link my mate's channel below. She does my amazing, amazing nails. These were done yesterday. Anyway, I'm actually doing makeup, not nails. I'm going to go into this one here just with my fluffy brush, and just literally just beep 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 beep, tap off. That's focus. Do your job. Thank you. I'm not sure you could see that, to be honest. These bristles are so dark. So what I'm going to do, stick it in the edge. That sounds so wrong. And waggle it. I'm only going to take it halfway across this time. And fluff it through the corner bit that we put our sage onto. Because we just want to deepen just the outer V a little bit. Okay. Trust me, please, when I tell you this is far more blended than it looks on camera. Why did I have to get a high definition camera? I don't have high definition eyes. Stupid woman. Right. I mutter to myself quite a bit as well. Feel free to ignore me, fast forward, speed up, or join in the muttering. Join the mutter gang. Same thing this side, the deeper green, starting at the edge, giving it a waggle, going halfway along, filling the corner bit in. You can see, what I'm trying to do at the edges is flick upwards, because if you flick out or down, it turns the eyes down, it makes you look sad, it makes you look old. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So I tend to try and point it off up towards my temple. Kind of like that. That's the kind of angle I'm looking for. You can actually use tape to give a really sharp, defined look, and I will show that in another one of my videos, but for this one, this is kind of my, it's the weekend, going out during the day, so I want some decent enough makeup so that if I'm still out when the evening rolls around, I don't look like I've been out all day, but not too much. So no lashes, no false lashes today. Okay, cleaned that brush off. Now we're going to go into our big fat packer brush. Can't be a big fat packer brush. And I'm going to go into this pearlescent-y, greeny, silvery, duochromy type. How many descriptive words can I use? With this. Yes. Yeah. So you can pack the colour onto your brush, okay? Shimmer. That's the word I was looking for. Shimmer. Don't think my brain's woken up yet today. And then we're just going to fill in the other 2/3 of our mobile lid. That's not like a mobile library. That'd be silly. Okay, and we're just packing that colour on, just pressing it onto the eyelid. See, just gives it a nice little bit of zhuzh. Bit of zhuzh, can't be a bit of zhuzh. And now let's do the other eye as well. Hope you're still with me. Haven't got bored, clicked off. If you are getting bored and clicking off, can you tell me why? But tell me nicely. I don't listen to nasty comments. Constructive criticism, welcome. Sarky comments, doors that way. So, just going to add a wee bit more shimmer. Make sure the eyes are even. Okay, alright. I haven't got Scooby because I've got both eyes shut. Just typing on the frame. Okay, clear the packer brush off. Now, going back in with our brush, which we've already taken the green off of, we're just going to run it where the two colours meet and across the top of our crease again, just to blend the two colours together a little bit. And that is how I look in terms of powder for the top lid done. Now, this is another one from that Morphe set where they helpfully didn't put numbers on it, but you can see it's a nice flat, skinny focus on the brush. Thank you. And this is what we're going to use to do under our lower lashes here. If you don't want to do under your lower lashes, don't do them. It's your face. You do your makeup how you want. You do you. But I'm going to go into that sage green and I'm going to smoke it out with that mustard yellow. So just dip the tip of the bristles in the sage green, knock off the excess, and then go right up underneath there and just helps if I'm on camera, doesn't it? Bloody hell, stupid woman. I tend to run it about 2/3 of the way along for daytime. For nighttime, I'd continue it through right the way across. But for daytime looks, I find that 2/3 of the way across is plenty. Do the same this side. Right up under your lashes, give it another wiggle. Can't beat giving it a wiggle first thing in the morning. Waggling on the top lid and wiggling on the bottom one. And then colour switch the colours off. And then this is a So Eco brush, which they don't print their brushes very well because it's already faded off from the number of times I've washed it. Yeah, I haven't got a Scooby what it's called, but it looks like that. Okay, rounded, flat. So similar to our packer brush that we used before. Okay, similar shape. But this one, as you can see, is slightly thinner and more rounded at the top. Okay. I'm going to dip just the very tip of the bristles. See? Focus on the brush. Well done. Just the tip of the bristles like that. And then I'm going to tap excess off. This camera's really good. Ooh. And then just really short side to side motions like this, just to smoke out the bottom lashes. And yes, the lighter colour I do flip right the way across. It's the darker colour that I don't take all the way across for the day. I'm really glad I'm zoomed in because you can't see the stupid faces that I'm pulling with my mouth right now. Does anybody do this without pulling a stupid face with their mouth? Because that's a skill if you can. I still haven't mastered it. Okay. Take the colour off and then, without any additional colour on the brush, just run it on. Now, as you can see, I have not got any fallout at all. If I did have fallout, I would use this big fluffy brush and just sweep it away. Now there are some, if you know you've got a eyeshadow palette which has a lot of fallout, then do your eye makeup before you do foundation, or put loose powder here to catch the fallout, so when you brush it away it's all gone. Right, now let me see, where's my eyeliner? Right, I'm into using this one at the moment. This is the 17 Tattoo Me 48 Hour. Girl, if you're leaving your foundation and your makeup on for 48 hours, you need a slap. Always take your makeup off at night. Always. I don't care if you've come in from the club and you're absolutely exhausted, keep a packet of wet wipes by the bed. Take your makeup off. That is the end of today's lesson. Well, warning. Right, here comes the bit that I know a lot of people are scared of, which is liquid eyeliners and wings. Will this come any closer? Oh, it does. Hello, right. Let's see if I can. I need to turn my mirror around here so I can see what I'm doing. That's not going to work. But I still need to stay in frame, so it's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to try and do it on the viewfinder. God help me. Don't expect much talking when I'm doing this. Now, if you want, you can stop there. And if you're feeling particularly brave or particularly nuts like me, you do a wing. I don't think my husband's ever known me to be so quiet. I can see why people like Manny do their wings off camera. Yay, a wing! Oh, now I've got to try and do the same this side. I do like this one because it's got a very flexible brush rather than the felt tip liners which have a very rigid brush. As I said, you can stop there. But if you've done one wing, you really have got to do the other.
Oh no.
You're not helping, baby. Oh, look at that up, I think. Never mind. Ignore that bit up there, we'll deal with that in a minute. Hey! And they match. Did a wing on camera. Right, Now, mascara. There are a lot of mascaras on the market. One of my favourites is this one by Essence. Again, I get it from Wilkinson's, and it's the Lash Princess, but it's the green one, which is the False Lash Effect Mascara. We'll see about that. Always give it a bit of a wiggle, get the excess off the end of the thing, otherwise you'll get a clump right on your lashes, which you don't want. As you can see, this is like a fir tree. Tapers up to a point, and it's nice old-fashioned style bristles, none of this plastic nonsense that you poke yourself in the eye with. Now, take it to the base of your lashes, give it a wiggle, blink your lashes through. And then just a little bit on the bottom lashes. Right, can you see the difference between the two there now? I hope so. As I said, ignore this bit here. I'll deal with that in just a minute. And then we do the same this side. Waggle it into the base. Blink the lashes through. That's a great tip if you're putting mascara on somebody else as well. Waggle it into the lashes and tell them to slowly blink. You're much less likely to poke them in the eye. Can't guarantee you won't poke yourself in the eye, mind. I've done that quite a few times. As you can see, I didn't curl my lashes. I don't bother for daytime. If I'm going out, I might, but I'm quite lucky. My lashes are quite springy, quite curly. They're quite long. I just don't look at because the tips of them are blonde. That's just the one coat. I'm not going to bother with 2 or 3 today. Okay, we go back into our brush that we used for smoking the bottom lashes out, bottom line out, and we just pick up a little bit of yellow and the apricot. Just blend that little sucker away. Oh, wrong way. Let's take it back out again. There we go. Right, now comes the fun bit, which is highlighter. And the highlighter I'm using today is a Jeffree Star MUA collab. It's a lovely holographic thing. And it's in the shade Uranus. Or if you're as old as I am and remember how they used to pronounce it, Uranus. Cue giggles from all the teenage boys in the room.
There's a town called My Anus in America.
Is there?
Yeah, it's spelled Mianus. Johnny Knoxville went there to Jackass like one year and started asking if they had chocolate milk in my anus to everybody. Things like that.
I'm saying nothing at this point. Husband is a mine of information. Right, highlighter. I'm meant to be showing you what brush I'm using, aren't I? Just a little flat. Very similar to the one we used to put the colour underneath our lashes. I'm just going to go from the arch bit. I'm just going to follow it along. Just a little bit of brow bone highlight. Look at the shine on that! Ah, blinding the haters. I don't hear your hateful words because my head is bouncing it away from me. Right. Then I'm going to put a little bit just on the inner corner here. give us a bit of I am actually awake. And then just a little bit on the Cupid's bow. And then, remember our big old brush that we used to do the powder on our face? And it's got one of these at the other end. I find this is the kind of brush similar to the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I think it's the A23 brush. I don't have. I'm not rich enough for that. It's quite a nice teardrop shape, but not too densely packed. I find that the Jeffree Star highlighters are so creamy, even though they're powder, they can get a hard pan on them where you get like that shiny bit and then it's difficult to pick colour up. I find this sort of brush is the best for picking up. See? Look how much has come up on there. Let me just go down her nose. Oh, look at the shine on that. And then on the chin. And then either side of our frown line, because let's face it, why don't we make the frown line look happy for once? A little bit just up on our temples there. Now here's the fun bit. You can see how much I've used this look. The imprint is nearly gone. This is my absolute favourite of his. Perfect for pale house bitches like me. Look at that. Do you look at that glow, man? Highlighter makes me very happy. Not as happy as my husband, but it's a close second. I'm shining, mama. Okay, then we colour switch it clean again before we put our brush back down. Now the last thing is lipstick. So, as I did the Manny collab for that, I thought I'd use the Manny collab for the lippy as well. And I'm going to use Daddy. Daddy's out to play. Which is this one with the gorgeous black with the holographic stars. Give it a bit of a shake. It's just such a lovely brown, this one. Let me just, so you can see how I use that. Actually, no, let's take it back out again, that's way too close. Now, the trick for doing the top lip, I will actually bring you in, is to hold the doe foot at a 45-degree angle and do this side of your Cupid's bow. Keep it at exactly the same angle and do the same stroke on the outside of your lip. Then 45-degree it the other way and repeat. And then turn it up and just join from the corner to your line. Bless you, baby.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right, I am going to do something with this hair, not entirely sure what, and I will be right back. Hello, I'm back again. Okay, so that's, well, something done with my hair. And then to finish off, go back to our setting spray and liberally douse the face. You don't have to use that much. I'm just doing a Jeffrey. I need to do a tarty actually and have a little fan here for fanning. I've got a bit of hair as well. Right, okay, so that is my sort of weekend day through into early evening makeup. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Feel free to leave some comments down below, especially if you've used this palette. Let me know what you think of it. You know, have you tried Subculture with all the fallout issues, etc.? What's the comparison like? Have you used both? Tell me. Comments are down there somewhere. And of course, there's a subscribe button just there, I think. Just red. Really bright. Can't miss it. Go on. Give it a poke. Go on. Go on. Look, I've even got my dimple out. Go on. Subscribe. Okay, guys, that's it. I will see you, hopefully, in another video. Bye.